Hi, I'm Bet from Bet's Makes, and today we're going to have a short lesson on print and cut and how you can do it. We'll do it in a couple of ways. We'll design our own little project and set it up as a print and cut, and we'll also bring in a PNG file and show you how to set that up as print and cut. So two things that we want to do. So the first thing you want to do right now is open up Cricut Design Space and start a new project. All right, for print and cut, we're going to start with creating our own shapes and putting them together by either welding them or flattening them, and then setting them up as print and cut. So that's one way we're going to do it. The second way we're going to look at it, we're going to take a file, we're going to upload it, and then I'm going to show you what to do to make sure it is the proper print and cut. So let's get started with this. Let's go over to our shapes. I'm always good with making a heart, and we're going to make this heart pretty big. We're going up to line type here, and I'm going to make it a nice red heart. Next, I want to bring in some other shapes as well. So let's bring in a diamond, and we'll make this diamond blue. Make it light blue. And then I want to bring in one more shape, and I think I'll bring in a star. And of course, stars to me are gold, so let's make it a gold color. Now, one other thing I can add to this is I can add some text, and I'm just going to call this have heart. And I want to move that text so it's down here. Now, I'm not going to show you how to change the text right now, but maybe I make this have heart. I'm just going to move these around just a little bit. Now, you'll notice that each one of these images in the layers panel is a cut image all by itself. So the have heart, let's keep it the same red as the heart. Let's just make a nice little design here. Now, a couple of things we're going to do to make this work for us is we can weld it together and it will become one color, but that's fine. It's still going to cut out the individual pieces. Or B, we're going to be able to put a background in behind. So what I want to do first of all is I want to take this whole thing and I'm going to duplicate it. And I always like to keep my original, so I'm just going to slide it off to the side. And that's before we do treatment on this, and that's just in case something doesn't go quite right. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. I want to come down here and click on weld. Now this becomes one cut item that you can see in the layers panel, which is perfect because now it'll cut out all the individual pieces. But what if I wanted it to be on a background? So let's just take a look at this and decide what kind of background do we want. Well, we don't want a background to cut out necessarily, but we want it into a shape where we know that it's going to cut the outside piece and not all the individual little pieces, to make it a lot easier when we go to do things with it. So the first thing I want to do is come over here to shapes. I'm going to pick on a circle, and the circle is on top, which is important. And I'm going to drag that circle over. Now, circle's not necessarily going to work perfectly for me. So what I want to do is come down here to this little lock. I'm going to click on it so it unlocks. You'll also notice that it unlocks up here under the size. Now what I want to do is take this little handle and I'm going to stretch it out a bit. And now that looks pretty good. I'm just going to lock it back up so it doesn't change size. Now I can't see my design behind, so I'm going to come over here to arrange and I'm going to send it to the back. Now what I can do is come here, and I see it's a little bit small, so I'm going to expand this just a tiny bit. I'm going to move this into place. Now that looks pretty good. It'll cut the oval and I will get a nice sticker, but I don't want it to print in black. There is no way that that's going to happen. So I'm going to come over here to the color. I'm going to change it to white. Now I'm also going to group these together to make sure nothing moves. So I'm going to group them. Come up here to the layers panel at the top and click on group. Now, if I welded them together, we would lose all the color. So that's not going to work for us, but we want this as a single print and cut item. So I can slice it out. I can join it together. Or I can come down here to another tool called flatten. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to flatten this image. Now you'll notice what happened. The little black lines that were all around the shape have disappeared. Let me just show you this one more time. I'll click away and I'll Control Z. You see the black lines? Once again, I will take all of those together. And I will come down here and click on flatten. And now I have a single print and cut item. Look at this, flatten, print and cut. So all it's going to do is cut around the outside. It will print everything, and you know white does not print, so it'll just print the red pieces and the white won't show. But when it comes to the cutting, you'll have enough of a buffer here that it can cut around. Now you don't need to use an oval, you could have used something else. So that's one way we can do it. Now I'm just going to slide this over to the side. We don't need it right now. I want to show you one more way to use print and cut. And this is where people get a little confused. So let's go here to upload. And I've already uploaded one file, but I'm going to upload an image here. I'm going to browse for it, and I am in a folder, and I'm going to pick on another icon. So let's pick on this nice little sunshine, and this could be anything. Now I'm given 3 choices here. If I go simple, you notice how it dulls it. If I go moderately complex, it still has a funny color background. But if I go complex, it keeps that white background. Well, that's exactly what I want. I want to keep it as complex. It makes it easier. So let's click on continue. Now I get a little plus sign here. If you look over here on the side, it's like a magic erase. So if I click here where the white is, all the white is going to disappear. That is perfect. Now I could also click in the center here, but I don't want to. All I want to do is keep this piece. So I'm not going to touch anything else. I'm going to click on continue. When I click on continue, you'll see it has an option. One here is save as print then cut image, which means it will print this out and then cut the shape. Or I can save it as just a cut image. Now, if you had pattern paper and you wanted just little pieces to cut out, you could save it as a cut image. Generally, what we want to do is save it as a print and cut. So we will click on it to select it. Make sure you've got the green box all the way around it. And we will save it. Now I'm simply going to click on it, get a green box around it, and insert the image, and it comes here. Now look, it's straight print and cut. I don't need to do anything else with it. It's going to cut on the outside. It just looks like it might cut these black pieces, but to ensure that that is not going to happen, and this is a little trick that I have to make sure the inside pieces do not cut, you want to come over here and make sure that flatten is not there. For this particular image, it is not going to cut because I don't see the flatten piece available to me. If you saw the flatten piece available, you know you should flatten it before you do that. Otherwise, you're going to get little pieces all cut out. This is just going to cut out one individual piece. So I hope you learned a little bit about print and cut and a couple of ways that you can do it. And have some fun, experiment with it. Until next time, happy crafting.